Did Chuck Schuldiner, the founder of death metal, predict the future? What a bold claim, Shred. Well, as it turns out, Chuck wrote a song about people that claim to know what they're talking about, but really don't. The song is called The Philosopher, and we'll be watching a live performance of the song recorded in Los Angeles, and the year is 1998. Here's what songmeanings.com has to say about the meaning of The Philosopher. Chuck said in an interview this song was indeed about Paul Masvidal. Now, Paul Masvidal is the founding member of the band Cynic. Moving back to the meaning of the track, the lyrics are basically about pseudo-intellectuals who preach bullshit in general. They make conjectures about things that don't actually matter or pertain to real life and are so immersed in their bullshit ideas that they're lacking any sort of substance. This reminds me of when I first discovered YouTube back in 2006, and I thought that just because someone said something in a video, it must be right. It took me years to figure out that that was wrong. Now, I think Chuck is making a really important point here that's especially relevant in the information age that we live in. Basically, he's saying, don't just take people's word for it. Think for yourself and use the mechanism of critical thinking to process new ideas. And to make sure my brain is firing on all cylinders for this Philosopher track, I'll be drinking some serious WAP juice here. This is Chief Peak India Pale Ale. Oh, yes, 69 grams of protein per sip. Now, it says on the beer here that it's tropical, dank, and full of citrus flavor. And somewhat tragically, I have to point out that the ABV is 7%. We just missed by a pinch that 6.9 magical number. Now, I'll be dissecting some of the music theory that's going on in this track by Death, the Philosopher. And if you want to go deeper into music theory, check out my music theory course below. I've got it for 75% off right now. It's insane. You get an hour and 15 minutes of music theory content, plus my classical guitar package, plus my scale and chord Bible. You learn to read music, intervals, scales, chords, key signatures, and so much more. If you didn't write a billion songs like Chuck did, this will get you on the level fast. All right, let me get my cans of power on, and we will check out Death's Philosopher live in LA. Here we go. Okay, live in LA. No music yet. Here we go. D minor, C, back D minor, A over C sharp. Very neoclassical sound there. Verse 1. Give it to me, Chuck. Hear what I hear. That evil flat 2 degree right there. Another riff. Philosopher, there it is. Heard Philosopher. It's hard to hear what Chuck's saying, to be honest, but out of all the death metal screamers, he's actually fairly clear. And one reason I think is because he's occupying this higher register, whereas a lot of death metal growlers are kind of lower. So it's a bit easier to pick out what he's saying. Let's back it up just a little bit. Kind of based in D. D standard is the tuning. G, B flat, F, C, and Chuck's going for a solo. Dude had some serious technique. Well, that's an evil riff. It's kind of like a D major chord with a flat 2, sort of outlining that triad. That was a good scream right there. Yes. Your life is not your own. Yeah, I think maybe what he's saying there is like when your life is not your own, he's talking about, listen, think for yourself. Don't just take someone else's sort of half-baked opinion and regurgitate that. We see a lot of that on the internet, don't we? Okay, this is back to that D riff. Dude, who is drumming on this? Is it Richard Christie? You guys were telling me about this dude in the last Death video I did. He's absolutely mind-bogglingly technical. So on point. But let me know down in the comments, because I know Death had a few different drummers. But whoever's drumming here is insane. It's hard to see who's back there. Who's back there behind the kit? The evil minor 6th degree there. A little bass shred. Another guitar solo. A to B flat. Or actually, that's G to A flat, huh? Now D to E flat. Evil. Give me the evil, boys. G to G sharp. G to A flat. Left. Drums are out of control. Okay, back to... Oh, that's it. That's actually a pretty short death metal song, under 4 minutes. Now, what do you think are Death's best tracks? Is The Philosopher one of them? I know Spirit Crusher is considered to be one of the best. And what do you think about the lyrical content to this song? I find it quite fascinating. I'm very interested in philosophy myself, and I study a lot of different philosophers. So I love this idea of when you come across new ideas, not just immediately accepting them, but taking time to dissect them and use critical thinking to really form your own pathway through concepts. Don't just swallow down the opinions of others and take them as fact. I think we get fooled by charisma and personality on the internet. You know, someone who's able to kind of convincingly put on a show and make an idea sound good, you know, we're more likely to believe those people. But it doesn't mean they're right. Shred that subscribe button and also check out my Patreon page below if you want to sell your soul to the devil. Until next time, my friends, stay evil.